Hello, everyone. I appreciate your interest in this project, and I hope that you find this documentation interesting and useful. My name is Ryan Riberdy. By the time you see this video, I will be a fifth-year undergraduate student at the University of Alberta. I am completing a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental and Conservation Sciences with a major in land reclamation. So, it's currently the middle of January 2025, and I am beginning to work on my integrated project for my certificate in sustainability. The term sustainability can be defined as holding up, and it says a lot about where we've been and where we're going. It is a way of understanding how humankind has created an unbalance. While brainstorming for my project, I concluded that I wanted to create something that would benefit my local community. I am planning to create a garden space for a community in Edmonton. This is in part due to my affection for plants and to solve issues of sustainability on a local scale. I went and toured several different community gardens around Edmonton back in September of 2024 to generate ideas of how I would want my garden to turn out. As you can see, community gardens can come in all different shapes and sizes, and each one incorporates unique ideas. My purpose for visiting these gardens is to support the methods and ideas that I wish to integrate into my project and to determine what works and what doesn't. Okay, so I am creating a garden. I know where I want to build it. I have a general idea of how I want to create it, but what exactly am I looking to solve? Well, I have formed a question that I would like to answer by the completion of this project. That question is, how can the act of community facilitation contribute to the three pillars of sustainability and improve the lives of community members? Additionally, I want to address the issues of cost inflation associated with food security and environmental degradation. So, why am I standing out in a snow-covered field, and what does this have to do with creating a garden? This location is representative of land that has successfully avoided urbanization despite being at the doorstep of development. It has become evident that locations like this are slowly disappearing across the landscape, and I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. Okay, so now we stand at a completely different environment. This is an area facing rapid urbanization, and while urbanization is necessary to fulfill the needs of our rising population, it can result in the loss of natural land available for biodiversity and food production. 10 years ago, this area was still farmland, but as we continue to make advancements in technology and development, we continue to lose valuable lands. While there may not be a clear solution to this issue, the possibility exists for smaller changes that can lead to larger improvements in the future. So welcome to the project site. It doesn't look like much right now, but by the end of this video, I hope to transform this space into a productive garden that will benefit this community for years to come. Now, this is a lot of work for one person, so I've enlisted the help from community volunteers and organizations to make it happen. The building you see behind me here is a seniors activity center that provides a central space for local community members. Until now, this space has been underutilized, and I'm looking to change that. A benefit of this space is that it's secured by fencing and is accessible to those with mobility issues. Ideally, this garden will contain about 20 individual plots for community members and a vegetable garden to provide food for the cafe in the center, in addition to an herb garden and fruit-bearing plants. A pollinator garden will help to reduce the impact of urban development on biodiversity, and a free garden will offer food resources to those facing financial difficulty. Additionally, rain barrels and a composting system will help in promoting the effective reuse of materials. So a big part of this project is to unite community members and provide a sense of connection and purpose. I want to place the power of food production back into the hands of the individual and promote the idea that we can have a positive future in food and environmental security. With that said, I think we've got a lot of work to do. Let's get started, shall we? Here's a bit of a general list of the stuff that we're going to be looking for to build this project. Wooden pallets, for example, I'm sure we can get those for a very reasonable cost, and we'll be reusing materials. Same with rain barrels, I'm sure we can find those for a reasonable price. Some of this other material we might have to get new, but we'll see what we can do in finding stuff that is used. So this is what we're thinking for plants. Now again, this isn't like a final list or anything. And we're kind of in the early stages right now. Like I say, it's still the winter. All right, so thanks everybody for coming tonight, considering the lovely weather we're having out there. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for coming tonight, and I hope that you find this session useful and beneficial. So let's get started. Okay, so how exactly are we planning on funding this project? So we're in the process of applying for grants in hope of accessing financial aids to help make this project happen. In the long run, we are expecting some income from the rental plots, which could be rented out at about $20 to $30 per season, I'm thinking, which would generate about $400 to $600 in revenue each season to help cover maintenance costs. So here's a bit of a rough timeline. Again, this isn't set in stone by any means. This is us tonight, just having our information meeting. We're hoping to form what we're going to call a garden committee, and I'll touch base on that in just a moment. And what I'm hoping is that we can have our first meeting on that around March 1st. Following that, we will be having a spring market here at ESAC on April 5th, so we're going to do a table for that. I'm hoping by May we can start looking at doing construction once all the snow is cleared. Around June, I'd like to do a launch event, and then in September, possibly a harvest event, and then we'll start looking at cleaning up for the season. After our initial information session and an information table at a community market, we formed a garden committee to direct the construction process. We held a bottle drive near the beginning of May of 2025 to help move things along financially speaking. Additionally, we received several donations and discounts from local businesses in the form of materials and labor. Most notably, we received various garden plants and fruit trees to help us get started. West Coast Seeds donated a large selection of seeds that some of our volunteers planted in the soil in early spring. Truth be told, this project ended up taking a higher degree of planning than I had initially expected. Between applying for grants to fund the project and coordinating with the community to determine what we wanted to create, it was a very ambitious process. That being said, I had assistance from the West End Seniors Activity Center staff and volunteers to help get the ball rolling. I'm out here today at the Whitemud Equine Center. We were able to get a whole bunch of manure for our garden project out here. Keeping with the theme of reusing materials and sustainability, I thought I would come take advantage of this amazing opportunity. So I've got 3 bags filled here. As you can see, there's quite a bit more available for others to take. And yeah, I have a feeling we'll be back to come get some more, but we will start with this and see how far it goes. With the help of a discount on lumber materials from Golden Spike Lumber, community volunteers set to work to construct the garden beds. It has been amazing to see a community come together to build such a beautiful space to be enjoyed for years to come.
Yeah, you want to try to help see if we can lift the compost or the manure bag? And then we've melted it.
So we have been hard at work getting these boxes built. As you can see, some of our lovely community renters have already planted some things in these boxes, which is great. Got some tomatoes growing in there, and we've got some herbs in that one. Our local Home Depot store donated some awesome cauliflower plants for our vegetable gardens here. We've also got some cucumber and some more tomatoes and some peppers. It's looking great. We've even got Brussels sprouts growing here too. This year, we were able to fill all of our WeSat garden beds and 9 out of 10 of the community rental beds. We planted an apple tree and a hybrid pear tree, along with Saskatoon and raspberries. While we were not able to fulfill all of our initial ideas, such as the extra tent rental plots and the free garden, we hope to continue improving the space in subsequent years. We had applied for several grants related to sustainable gardening and community improvement, with the promise to receive $4,500 from Sustainable Foods Edmonton. Unfortunately, changes within the municipal government system meant that those funds were no longer available to us. The West End Seniors Activities Centre was willing to front the majority of the cost of the project, viewing the project as a significant community initiative. As this is a long-term initiative, we plan to apply for more grants again next year. To tie off a vision successfully coming together, a grand opening event featuring a barbecue was held at the end of July 2025, with entry by donation to the Garden Fund. We invited city councillors and other dignitaries to join us in our celebration. Okay, so it's now about mid-September of 2025. I'm really happy with how this project came together, as you've seen throughout the video. I'd like to return to the question I asked at the start of the video, and that is, how can the act of community facilitation contribute to the 3 pillars of sustainability and improve the lives of community members? I'd like to start with the environmental aspect. I think all the flowers that we've planted, as you can see, our pollinator garden turned out great, has really contributed to biodiversity in the area. The composters and the rain barrels have really reduced the environmental footprint of our garden space. We've been able to access rainwater to keep our gardens watered, and we've also been recycling our garden materials in hopes that we can get some fresh soil next year. Looking at it from a social aspect, this garden has really brought together a lot of people that probably would have never met each other otherwise. All those with an interest in gardening. I've really met some amazing people working on this project, and I really think that this has improved the well-being of the neighbors as well. Looking at this garden from an economic standpoint, the garden plot renters now have easier access to fruits and vegetables, reducing economic externalities faced. Many of the fruits and vegetables that we harvested already from this garden have been donated back to the community. We've put a basket up in the front lobby of the activities center for people to help themselves with the donation to the garden. I really appreciate your interest in my project, and I hope that you found this documentation both useful and interesting. I hope that this garden can continue on for many years to come, and I will continue to be a part of it as long as I can. Thank you very much for watching.